Okay, let's talk about schemata. So to give a definition to schema, a schema is a mental construct consisting of a collection of related concepts. Okay, so when a schema is activated, we automatically make assumptions about the person, object, slash situation. We all have different schemas about the world. We have schemas about cats versus dogs, being able to distinguish between the two. They're a collection of related concepts which allows us to help navigate our world. Okay, whenever it comes to role schema, all right, we all have different role schemas. We make assumptions about how individuals in certain roles will behave. So, usually, whenever we think of a librarian, we kind of consider them and assume, have biases that they are naturally quiet individuals. They enjoy peace, they enjoy being within themselves, and reading a nice book. They enjoy literature tremendously. Okay, that's not always the case, but we do tend to make assumptions based on people's roles in which they hold. We make assumptions about how they will behave. Okay. Now, whenever it comes to event schema, this is a cognitive script, a set of routine or automatic behaviors. All right. This is the exact reason why whenever we go into an elevator, we don't face the wall, we typically face the door. And naturally, we all have a collective, most people at least have a collective agreement that we don't really talk whenever we're in an elevator. Maybe some brief pleasantries, but we typically do not get into conversation, obviously because of its brief trip. But some people just will not talk at all, and that's okay. Okay. Now, this is also our event schema or cognitive scripts help us distinguish, of course, whenever we go to different types of restaurants, because we're not going to act the same at a fancy restaurant as if we were to order or act at a fast food chain. Such as if you went to a nicer restaurant and you just went up to the podium and you started rattling off an order, they'd look at you like you were just had lost your mind, right? But at a fast food restaurant, that's common practice. We go up to the very front where a podium or a desk is, and we order our food and then wait to be served. Now, at a nicer restaurant, of course, we go up, and the very beginning or that podium is just to be sat down. So, thankfully, our cognitive scripts will kick in. And I know this is very elementary and simple, but it's quite, important when it comes down to it. We need our brain to be able to distinguish between different cognitive scripts and different events and how we should behave. All right. On top of this, another event schema that's hard to break, right? Because these schemas they're in our brain and it's not easily swayed whenever we have them established. For a lot of us, whenever we get a notification on our phone, we either feel it buzz or we hear the ding. We have an automatic reaction or impulse to want to check that phone immediately, no matter where we're at. And so that's why whenever we're driving, it's a lot harder to resist whenever we get a text because of that curiosity. And so, but the thing is, you're not supposed to text when you're driving. It is dangerous, as well as you potentially will get ticketed for texting and driving if you're seen by a police officer. But the thing is, because we regularly have that impulse where we just naturally pick up our phone whenever we get a notification, it can be hard to break even when we're driving and we know we shouldn't.